Good morning, it's Tuesday the 20th of October and yesterday we were working with the sheep. We didn't even get round to finishing the tails. We didn't trim the tails out, so we'll save that for another day. Today I'm going to start by putting a beef stew on because I need to do a bit of get ahead cooking. So I'm going to make my beef stew, set that going. And we are getting 2 hoggets in, so that's a lamb that was born in April 2019 because they're going to the butchers. They're going to be slaughtered this week, so they go today. That's the job. I've got my Highland beef, onions, carrots, homegrown courgette, some potatoes. I'm going to coat the beef in some flour to create a thickener for the stew, pop some herbs in there, some salt, pepper, stock cubes, and just leave it to simmer in some water for quite a few hours. And then tonight should be a nice dinner for us. Come on! Come on, boys. Come on. I'm busy in the kitchen. I'm making lots of crumbles, apple crumbles, as I had a donation of some wonderful apples. I really quite like sour apples just to eat myself, but for a crumble I think they need to be sweet. So I've got my topping in the oven, I've got my chopped apples here and a bit of cinnamon, a bit of sugar, and it's definitely a sign that I'm feeling better when I am making food. I think Nick will agree. He's just chilling on the sofa. Yeah, definitely a sign that I'm thinking more clearly and feeling in a better headspace, less overwhelmed by everything going on in the world when I'm cooking and looking after my family. So they've had their last supper and now it's time to go in the trailer. Still very green.
Wonderful.
It is very green, isn't it?
Yeah.
Very green.
Oh yeah.
So we're waiting, we're in a little mini queue to get into the abattoir. It's only really small in Glossop, so sometimes you have to wait. How long does it take us to get here? 35 minutes?
About 40 minutes.
Yeah, so not a long journey. And I thought it would be a good opportunity for us to have a little chat about how we feel about it all. So getting them in from the field, I do feel a bit guilty, like I sort of feel a bit like, oh, it's sad that we have to send them, but then I just have to kind of like get my head in gear and be like, well, that's why they're here. Like, that's why they're here. And the reality is that they were born, you know, quite a while ago now. They've not had much going on. Like, they've just had to hang around. They've lived a lot longer than many lambs do. So now that I've had a chance to think about it and get my head around it, the fact that because we lost 1 or 2, I always feel like when they die, that is a total waste. Like, they end up in the knackerman's skip, whatever. That's a complete waste. So I'd much rather that they ended up, you know, getting to their final purpose, which is that they're food on the table for us, for people to enjoy and celebrate. And that would be my thoughts. What are your thoughts?
Well, yes, at the end of the day, that's how we keep them. We try and look after them as well as we can, and then take it from there.
Like you now.
The queue. And we choose this slaughterhouse here because it's very small, very quiet, and I think very well run. And you bring your animals. There's no other animals calling out in distress.
Very quiet.
And that means, you know, we do care about animals. At the end of the day, they're there to be eaten. If that's not for you, then I accept that. But we do believe that, but we look after them well while we've got them.
And I always have to keep reminding myself that it's actually a privilege to have food that we can put on the table that hasn't had to come through the supermarkets. It's not had to be put through the mass system.
No.
You know, even cutting down on plastic and all the rest of it, food miles. It's better for the environment.
And not having that far to come to the
And
destination.
if anyone can support us,
We appreciate
come and
it.
buy a joint, we would appreciate it. Cover our costs. And here is as good a view as any or many. Of the trees. This is finished beef stew, potatoes, carrots, courgettes, threw some green beans in there from the freezer, stewed apple with cinnamon and crumble topping, and that's going to feed us for the next couple of days. Job's a good un. That's the end of the video. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. It's just a day in the life, and I will see you soon. Bye.